Don't miss that train. It's the nostalgia train. Hi, I'm Andre, and oh man, Netflix, they couldn't avoid it. Everybody was hopping on that nostalgia train, and Netflix was like, no, we're gonna make these original shows like House of Cards and Orange is the New Black. And then they're like, all right, we'll get Daredevil and Jessica Jones, but those are Marvel properties. They haven't been done the way we're doing them. That's still different. But it wasn't long, boy. It wasn't long before that nostalgia train creeped itself into you. A couple of trailers have come out recently from Netflix. One for Fuller House, which we've talked about before, and one for Pee-wee's Big Holiday, which is a new Pee Wee Herman movie that we're getting. And at first I was gonna make a video for one and a video for the other, but I realized that some of the things I want to say about them, both positive and negative, kind of fit both trailers. Also, some of the things that I like and dislike about each one are kind of the same thing as well. It's very clear with both Fuller House and Pee-wee's Big Holiday, they are hitting on nostalgia. They want you to remember the time that you loved Full House. They want you to remember the time that you loved Pee Wee Herman and Pee-wee's Big Adventure, that you're gonna get that same look, feel, and vibe with these shows and movies. With Fuller House, it brings the original cast back. It looks like the exact same set that you remember from the original series. The laugh track is there, the silly jokes are there, the catchphrases are there, even though some people are saying other people's catchphrases, like there's one point where Stephanie says, have mercy, and Jesse says, how rude, but it's all there. It's all the stuff you remember. And Pee-wee's Big Holiday, same thing. It's starting off with Pee-wee waking up, but his whole house is moving him around, kind of similar to how they made his breakfast in Pee-wee's Big Adventure with all the contraptions. Hello, Rube Goldberg device. And instead of him having a bicycle, now he has a tiny car. Everyone still treats him like he's a kid, even though he's a 63-year-old man. Did you know that Paul Reubens is 63 years old? Dang, man. Pee-wee don't crack. I completely understand jumping on that nostalgia. When you see so many reboots nowadays that completely ignore the original source material or the look and feeling of a series or movie, the reason why we liked it in the first place, just to cash in on the name, it's sad. I mean, you get so upset when you're like, what's the point of you taking that name when you're not gonna do anything similar to what we saw before with that same name? Makes no sense. So I get they want to be as close to the source material as possible. They want to give you that same vibe that you got 20, 30 years ago with these same properties. I completely understand that. But with nostalgia, it gets a little tricky because there comes a point where you're like, hey, we're honoring the past. We're gonna be just like the past. How much is honoring, tribute, homage, and how much of it is doing the exact same thing over again? Seriously, in Fuller House, just like in Full House, DJ is a widow, her husband died, and now she has to take care of 3 kids the same way that Danny was a widow, his wife died, and had to take care of these 3 kids. Really? That is a Tanner curse. But will a crazy sitcom laugh track filled show work on Netflix? The other shows are like Daredevil, you know? I don't think there's gonna be a crossover episode with those two. And Pee-wee decides he needs to go out and see the world because someone told him he should have a holiday the same way that he went out to see the world just because someone stole his bike. And at first I was kind of thrown off by that with Pee-wee's Big Holiday because I was like, well, wait a minute. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, he saw the world, but now they're saying in Pee-wee's Big Holiday, he has never left his town. But then I remember that the Pee-wee movies don't really connect because there was a sequel to Pee-wee's Big Adventure called Big Top Pee-wee, but it had nothing to do with the original film. It was a completely different storyline with Pee Wee Herman. So I'm guessing this is in the same vein where it has nothing to do with Pee-wee's Big Adventure or Big Top Pee-wee, but you can easily tell with this story that they're trying to do the same kind of thing like they did with Pee-wee's Big Adventure, except this time with new scenarios. If they're not gonna do anything more than another Pee-wee road trip movie that's the same as Pee-wee's Big Adventure, is that going to play off for people who want to see Pee-wee in a different situation? Is this adventure gonna bring something new to the table, or are they just completely playing on the fact of, hey, remember that Pee-wee that you loved back in the day, back in the 80s, 90s? We got him. We got that Pee-wee for you. That's it, but we got it. Doing remakes of classic properties is always a struggle. You always have to find that nice balance between honoring what you have in the past so that people who grew up with that franchise can see what they want to see again, while at the same time bringing something new. And sometimes you can go far off the deep end with forgetting about the nostalgia, and sometimes you can go far off the deep end of getting too much into the nostalgia. Now, the one thing I think Fuller House has going for it is the fact that it's based on the females, that it's going to be a different take on this type of experience. Also because it's a different time period today. There's a quick scene in the trailer where it looks like Stephanie and Kimmy are trying to get DJ to go out and, you know, go to a club or something like that, and she's all freaking out because she's leaving her kids at home. And that's kind of an interesting thing. You know, if they're gonna play up the, hey, DJ's trying to get back out there and date again because she's been so much about taking care of her kids since she's been a widow, that could be an interesting story because I kind of feel like that's a part of Full House they didn't really do that much of with Danny. I mean, they had a few episodes where he tried to date or where he was nervous about getting back out there again because he still missed his dead wife. But after a while, I felt like it got more into the catchphrases and the other characters that we didn't really get a lot of Danny doing that. They kind of just locked on him being the neat freak and the clean guy. Just seems like a missed opportunity a little bit with Full House. Where if Full House jumps on that could be really good. And if Andrea, I keep wanting to call her Andrea when she's Kimmy, but Andrea's her real name. If Kimmy's trying to be the cool mom, which she has a daughter in this, and the daughter and her don't get along sometimes because cool mom is still set in the 90s. There's even a whole scene in the trailer where she just says a bunch of 90s catchphrases, which I thought was pretty cute. These are different dynamics they could play around with that does make them a little bit different from Full House while still having that same love. And the way they set up Pee-wee's Big Holiday is Pee-wee is in his hometown of Fairville. He's happy. Nothing needs to change. And then all of a sudden, freaking Joe Manganiello comes in and is like, hey man, I know the world. I'm a drifter. I've seen stuff out there that you need to see. You need to take a holiday. Get out of here. Live a little. And Pee-wee's like, yeah. You know, I'm kind of wondering, like, was Pee-wee saying yeah to him because he's like, oh, hey, he's giving me some new information? Or was Pee-wee kind of like, hey, Joe Manganiello, what's going on? You know? I'm just saying, dude rolls in, asks for a milkshake from you, you all flabbergasted and Twitter paid it with him, and then he's all like, go out of town. He's like, okay, yeah. All right, Pee-wee. I'm excited to see both of them. I'm excited to see Fuller House. I'm excited to see Pee-wee's Big Holiday. There were jokes in both trailers that made me laugh, but I'm just curious of how this is gonna go because Netflix has not been a place that's been playing a lot with nostalgia. They have a lot of old shows on Netflix, but Netflix up to this point has made a good job in either doing fresh, original, brand new type of content or taking a property like a Marvel property and doing something completely different with that we've never seen before. But now they're doing this, they're doing Fuller House, they're doing Pee-wee's Big Holiday, not to mention they've also remade Care Bears and Popples and all this other kind of stuff. So it's going to be an interesting balance to see what Netflix goes with and what ends up being more successful on Netflix. The brand new, original, never seen before type of stuff, or these remakes and reboots and nostalgia-filled shows and movies to try to get you to join in and join that Netflix. Pay that $7.99 a month. Let's have some fun with this. What show or movie from your past would you love to see have a new version on Netflix? Put that in the comments or tweet me at Black Nerd your thoughts. Use the hashtag Netflix Reboot. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like this video, and if you're new here, click that subscribe button. I make new nerdy videos all week, every week. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Addy 5000. Chain chomp, y'all. I know you are, but what am I?